With this week's release of the Zwift Drop Shop, the in-game store, where you can now use your points accumulated in-game for equipment, and the appearance of the Zipp 808 and Super9 Disc, a number of people have asked, what is the fastest road bike and wheel combination on Zwift to date? Is it the Tron bike, which is the Zwift Concept bike, the Z1, which is only unlocked after accumulating 50,000 meters of climbing with the Everest challenge? Or is it the second fastest bike on Zwift, the Cervelo S5 NOW matched with the 808 and Super9 Disc? Is that now the king or queen of road bike speed in Zwift? Or could it be something else, maybe one of the new bikes featured in the drop shop? The test protocol here in the Llama Lab for these particular tests are as follows. The internet was isolated once I was logged into Zwift, so there's no other riders on course, no drafting effect, and also no drops accumulated for me at the end of the ride, but that's okay, this was for science. I'm a 73 kilo rider, 181 centimeters tall, male, and no helmet worn during these rides. The rider had a set wattage of 250 watts for the entire lap that I performed on each bike, with a set cadence of 90 RPM. The short course I used for this test was Watopia Hilly, the original 9.1 kilometer course released when Watopia was first out. It includes some flat roads, a hill climb, some rolling hills and descents and things, also the sprint, but also the entire lap. It should give us a good representation of how fast these bikes are technically in a vacuum, with no other outside influence. Okay, onto the testing. You can see here we have the Tron bike, we have the Cervelo over there, and we have the Giant next to me. These are all started off at the same time, and what you'll see on screen here is the three riders in isolation with three separate runs. And where they are on course, there's going to be different shadows and rain and things like that, but we can get a good indication of how these bikes stack up in isolation. Now, fast forwarding to the start of the KOM here, and you can see the timer starts at relatively the same time. So a few kilometers in, pretty much one for one, as we all ride up the hill under the same conditions for every rider. Let's do a quick jump through to 100 meters to go at the KOM. The timers are all looking very similar. I also have a timer there on screen, so the times will pop up right next to me, and we can see how they go. Okay, just visually, you can see the Tron bike is going to take the win just a little bit there, and the other two are very, very close. So looking at the results there, we have a 2:59.76, a 3 flat 0.95, and a 3:01.20. Really not much in it, but for this particular test, the Tron bike comes out on top just a little bit. Okay, fast forwarding the next section here through to the sprint line. So we're down the hill, we're across the bridge, we're past Hanks, we are through the village and onto the start of the sprint section, and it just happens to be raining down here on the Giant. But nevertheless, let's have a look at how we go for the sprint section. This isn't a true representation of the sprint, this is a steady state flat section. So we'll have a look at how they go here anyway. And we can see, based again on the visuals, the Tron bike is just a little bit ahead on the entire lap, but we're looking at these segment sections here. So we'll see how we go, and it's still raining for the Giant. Okay, nice one. Okay, 100 meters to go in the sprint at 250 watts. Oh, we've unlocked level 30, which is going to be thrown away after this anyway. Okay, coming into the sprint line now. Oh, and we had a bit of shuffling there. So what we saw is, okay, well, first of all, the spread is 0.03 of a second. There's nothing in it for the steady state sprint at 250 watts. Well, 250 is not much of a sprint, but the steady state effort there, very similar. We saw the Cervelo S5 with the disc combo there, taking the win by, look, I'll call it next to nothing because there really is nothing in that. And the Giant Propel coming in third place there. But just, yeah, interesting of note there that the Concept bike, or the Tron bike, wasn't the quickest for that particular test. Fast forwarding again through the S's and into the final kilometers, we'll jump straight to 300 meters to go, and the blue timers that you see here on screen will be the cumulative time of every single ride, and we can see there visually the Tron bike is ahead just a little, just a very little bit. Even the road painting there, you can see passing first with the Tron bike, Cervelo S5, then the Propel. So let's see how we go for the total time. 15:11. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and our lap times, there we go. Really not much in it, to be honest. Quite surprised that they were that close, given the Tron bike was always quite a bit ahead. Surprised this Cervelo S5 with that disc combo probably didn't make up a lot more ground than what I thought it would have. given those downhills and those fast descents. But we have there the final results: 15:17:56 for the Tron bike, 15:18:31 for the Cervelo S5, and 15:19:36 for the giant Propel Advanced one. And both of those other road bikes, that one there and that one there, with the 808 and sub 9 combo. Look, in summary there, that's too close to call. One single pedal stroke, or if you're in a draft or with other riders or anything, even bunch positioning that you really can't control a hell of a lot in Zwift, that's going to affect those results there. So that's pretty much a dead heat. The tests themselves, well, they're the results. If you want to call the Tron bike the fastest bike, technically for those tests, it is, except the sprint, but again, they're so close. If they're so close, it doesn't really matter. So my conclusion is, at the top end of the scale, S5 and the disc combo, the Propel on the disc combo and the Tron bike, pretty much 1 for 1. There definitely could be other circumstances where either bike is faster, maybe a longer hill climb, maybe in accelerations, in sprints. We really don't know. It's really hard to test those. That's why doing the steady state tests in isolation is probably the easiest way for us to know what's the fastest and what's not. But those times are so close. When you introduce other bunches and drafting effects and things like that, it really doesn't matter. However, technically speaking, the Tron bike did take the win there. So I guess if you haven't got the Tron bike, get your climb on. If not, don't worry about it. Just enjoy the ride. And probably don't select the Buffalo bike. That's definitely a lot slower. Coming up soon from Zwift Insider will be a full comprehensive rundown of all bikes and all the details that you need to know over a longer distance and everything you can buy in the drop shop. I'm hanging for that. I'll link below for when that is published over on Zwift Insider. But for now, enjoy the ride. Thanks for watching.